Okay, we're going to make a simple leather notebook cover. This notebook is a 7.5 by 9.5 by 3/4, and I like to make things out of paper first because paper is cheap and leather is not. Okay, so here we made a cover out of paper just to get some dimensions, see how this is going to go together. So I've measured my paper book cover, and I've added a little bit because of the thickness of the leather, and I've determined I'm going to need about a 10.5 by 17-inch piece of leather. This is probably a 6-7 ounce piece of leather. It's a little heavy, but it's what I had on hand, and we planned on doing some tooling on it. So, but you can make this out of a lighter weight leather. Okay, yeah. So we've got our tooling pattern on some tracing paper here, and we're going to dampen the leather, and we're going to transfer our pattern onto the leather. Okay, so we'll dampen our leather so we can transfer our design. Okay, so position your pattern where you think it should go over the dampened leather, and then weigh it down so it won't move while you're tracing the pattern. Okay, so it should come out looking something like this. The solid lines you want to cut with your swivel knife, and the dotted lines we're going to use as guidelines later. Okay, so now we're going to dampen the leather again. Do the whole piece so it's all stays uniform. Take out our swivel knife here, and we'll cut in the solid lines, and we will leave the dotted lines for later. Okay, we've made all our knife cuts, and it should look something like this. Okay, so we've got our knife cuts made, so we're going to break out our stamping tools and our beveling tools, and we're going to take the stitch groover here and make our stitching groove. Okay, so I'm going to put a piece of marble hard surface underneath your project, and we're going to start doing our stamping and our beveling. And okay, when you're done with your stamping and beveling, it should come out looking something like this. Okay, so you can stain this any way you want. If it's a vegetable tan leather, you can just use olive oil. I wanted mine a little darker, so we went a little darker on it. So anyway, that's what it looks like when you stain it. Okay, so now we're going to use our overstitch wheel and just mark where our stitching goes in our stitching groove, just to make our everything nice and neat. Okay, so now we'll punch the holes where indicated by the overstitch wheel. Okay, so now we have to cut a couple of tabs here and sew them to the inside so that they'll hold the book in place. I like to moisten the hinge area here of your cover, and then put your book inside there, and then slick it down with a piece of wood, and it makes your cover fit a lot neater. Okay, so now we're going to stitch this thing together. I'm going to use some beeswax linen thread, and I'm going to actually sew all the way around the perimeter of the cover. Not that it's really necessary, but I think it'll look better that way, so just for aesthetics. Okay, we're almost done. The last thing we need to do is apply a leather finish to seal the pores to make it more water resistant and soil resistant.